But hello, my peeps. It's Antoinette here. Tonight I'm going to make dinner. I wasn't going to, except I mean, I would have just made a sandwich or something. But these beets I got at the farmer's market, and I got them on Wednesday, and today is Sunday. So these have determined that they need to be cooked. They're getting soft. So I'm going to make dinner. And what we're going to make is, I got this from Aldi's. It's boneless loin country style pork ribs. So this was 1.62 pounds for $5.49. So this I'm going to cook in the Instant Pot. But the beets take longer, so they're going to have to go in. So now, when you bring the beets home from the farmer's market and you have the, the leaves and beet leaves attached, the first thing to do is, cut them off about 1 inch. Get the leaves off of this as soon as possible. So that's what I did. And then I just put these in a bag. So we're gonna cook up the greens as well as a side dish. I pulled some thyme from my herb garden outside, and it's still hot. It is 6:15. Today has been a scorcher. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's hot. It is a hot day, I'll tell you that. So, all right, I'm gonna grab one piece of foil. Okay, so I cut off the head and I cut off the tail. Put one little beet in here. Oh, I need my olive oil. Just the regular. For this, I just have the, this is the Aldi's Carlini pure olive oil. This isn't extra virgin or anything for this. I always like to have this on hand because sometimes you just need the plain old olive oil, like right now. So, put a little oil on it. And then salt and pepper. And a sprig of thyme. There you have it, like this. And then we're just going to wrap it in foil and put it on a roasting pan. So I'm gonna do the other two and then we'll be right back. I have the beets ready to go. I'm preheating the oven at the moment. We're almost there, we're at 311. But I started working with the leaves. So I chopped off the stems, and basically, I mean, you could cut it. Okay, so here's a larger leaf, and just hold it, and it'll come right off of the stem. And I'm gonna put that in the bowl. We are going to use some of the stems. They take longer to cook, so we will cook those first, a little bit. I'm not gonna use all of it, but it's very nutritional. Beets are so good for you. All right, well, I'm gonna continue cleaning up my leaves and rinse them off and get them prepped. One last thing, we are roasting the beets, so they are on the top rack, and it's probably gonna take about 45 minutes because these are small. Otherwise, it could be an hour to hour 15 if they were, more substantial in size. But they're in the top rack. I got these espresso coffee seasoning rubs on clearance at Kroger for 49 cents. I think I have about 6 of them. So this is the first time I'm trying it. So we'll find out how I like this. I'm really not sure about it. I love coffee, so it should be good on pork. I took the package that I'm using, that the pork came in, and I have the bag of rub back in there. I have the pork here on the plate, and I'm just gonna rub them. These are slightly frozen, so which is fine. Just gonna roll them in here into the rub, like so. I have 1 cup of water in the bottom of the Instant Pot. Yeah. It's picking up that rub quite nicely. So, all right. I'll be back in a flash as soon as I have this all done. Get a look at this. This covered so well, and I have to tell you, I wish I tried this sooner. It's not overpowering espresso coffee smell. It's just delightful. Tongs and just put them all in the bottom of the Instant Pot. I have the mini Instant Pot, so this fills it up pretty quick. It's the perfect size. That mini Instant Pot has been the perfect size for me. Just like my mini air fryer, you know. It's for 1 or 2 people, so, you know, that's perfect for me. I could never deal with the 6-quart. That's why I hated my Ninja Foodie. All right, anyway, next. I have liquid smoke, and this is the hickory liquid smoke. And I have Ray's. They took out the sweet because there's no sugar added. This is hickory barbecue sauce, no sugar added, from, you know, Ray's. Okay, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some of this liquid smoke over the pork. Some smoky action going on in there. All right, that was probably a little over a tablespoon. All right, and then so this barbecue sauce, I'm gonna measure it because it adds carbs. It's 4 total carbs, 1 fiber. There's 1 gram of sugar, so it's really not that bad. But you want to use about a half a cup. So I'm gonna measure it. It's what I figured. I figured it was half the bottle. All right, it's about right. I'm gonna pour it on. I've never tried this. Oh, it's very good. What's in there? Tomato paste. Vinegar, allulose. That's what it's sweetened with. Apple cider vinegar, natural smoke flavor, garlic. Caramel color, of course. Yeah, you got xanthan gum, paprika, onion, sucralose. So you have your basic keto ingredients in here. 1 net carb per serving, gluten-free. It's delicious. I would definitely get this again. Oh, that's so good. Good job, Ray's. Make sure you're on sealing. Everybody knows that by now, right? Okay, I'm gonna plug her in. All right, now I'm gonna hit meat stew. It's automatically set at 35, so I wanna go down to 20. 20 minutes because we don't have bones. These really aren't ribs. They call it that country style ribs are, you know, they don't have any ribs, so, you know, they don't come from the rib. They come from the loin. It's closer to the shoulder. It's more, which is has higher fat, which makes it a really great choice for keto. Here I have some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to pour some into this pan. These stems take a lot longer to cook. So I'm going to cook these stems with some olive oil. I used about half of the stems. And I'm going to get some garlic out of the refrigerator. I'm just going to saute that. It's smelling amazing in here. Oh. So we have 14 minutes on the Instant Pot. I checked the beets and it's been, what, 45 minutes. And they're still pretty hard. It needs to be fork tender. You know, just poke right through the foil, and it's not. So we're probably on a pretty good schedule here right now. I have the garlic in here with the stems. Added a little more olive oil. So that's going to be at the last minute. It's just like spinach. It just wilts down. I will be adding some white wine vinegar at the time when I put in the leaves. So, all right, back in a flash. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. I took a peek. We went on a slow release, or a natural release as they call it. It looks amazing. I took the beets out of the oven, and that took an entire hour, even with these small ones. I have on my, these are my protective gloves. They're really barbecue gloves that I did when I was a product tester, but here it is. Yeah, because you can touch things with these gloves on, so. Because this is very hot. Look at that beautiful beet. It just absorbed all that wonderful oil. There's my thyme, and it really does suck it in. Yeah, so I'm just taking my thumb and just peeling it. See? It's really easy to do. As long I can feel that this is hot. You know, don't get me wrong. But this does. Whew. Hot potato. All right. Okay. So there you have it. I'm peeling it off. When done. All right. I'm gonna get them all peeled, and then we're gonna start sautéing the leaves. And this is only gonna take like 2 minutes. The beets are all peeled, and they're slightly cooled off. So I'm taking a piece of foil, and I'm just gonna wrap them up here in this foil, just to keep them warm. So the stems are very tender now, and the garlic and the oil. So I turned it on to just like 3, letting it heat up a little bit, starting to heat up. I'm going to put the leaves into the pan. And I thought about this. The reason why I say that you should, right when you come home from the farmer's market, to separate the leaves from the beets is because, you know, they get everywhere. They are highly staining, and but when you do that, I don't know, somehow that kind of slows that down. I mean, I have a little tiny red spot here on my cutting board. You know, you pretty much have to use a bleach cleaner to get that off. But like even on my gloves, I rinsed them off, but they're not so bad because it slows down that bleeding process somehow. So there's that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to add a little more oil to this and get this going and cover it up. Little salt and pepper. I'm going to leave it alone for 2 minutes. Not going to touch it. It's beginning to wilt. I can hear it. I'm gonna put a splash of the white wine vinegar in here. Now I'm just gonna turn it off. Just give it another 30 seconds. Dinner is served. I'm gonna plate it up. Get a good look at my plate. Oh, this is like restaurant quality dinner. Some of these crisp up like a chip. People throw that away. It is unbelievable. Oh, but I just love the leaves, the greens of a beetroot. Now, and beets get a bad rap in the keto world. I mean, it's a superfood. And one medium beet like this is 5 carbs. And it's so good for you that, I mean, it's worth every carb. And it's a vegetable carb. So delicious. The herbs really came through on those. Fabulous. Now let's try this espresso rub. Let me put my plate down. All right. I'm gonna put a little raise on the side for dipping. This stuff is so good. All right, let's try it. Looks really good. It's very tender. You know, this meal fits on the Dave Ramsey plan. I mean, it's very economical. Because the country ribs, which really aren't ribs, the country, or the loin, I mean, that was $5.26. I just have 3 pieces here of like, there were like, I think 9 or 10. And this is just 1 beet. The beets were $3. There were 5. I gave 2 of them to my neighbor. So that's why you only see 3 here today. And of course this is, you know, that's a 2-for-1 deal with this. So this I made from everything that I had in my kitchen. So I didn't get anything extra. This is stuff that I had. Well, you know, I bought the beets this week, but I had the rays in my pantry for quite a while. And I did buy the country ribs at Aldi's in last month's budget. So, all right, I'm gonna go enjoy my restaurant quality meal. But I think the #1 thing on this plate are the greens. It's crazy that people throw that away. Okay, peeps. I'm gonna go eat my dinner. Thanks for coming by for another video, and we'll see you next time.